So to illustrate the concept of activity-based costing, we will answer problem 5-28 of your book. Let us read the problem. Hakara company has been using direct labor cost as the basis for assigning overhead to its many products. Under this allocation system, product A has been assigned overhead of 10.8 per unit, while product B has been assigned 3.6 per unit. Management feels that an ABC system will provide a more accurate allocation of the overhead costs and has collected the following cost pool and cost driver information. So we have machine setup, materials handling, electric power, and we also have the activity cost and the corresponding cost driver for each cost pool. Okay, and then the activity driver consumption is also given to us. The following cost information pertains to the production of A and B, just two of Hakara's many products. So we have the number of units produced, direct materials cost, direct labor cost, number of setup hours, pounds of materials used, and then the kilowatt hours, of course. So what are we going to do? The requirement of the problem is number one, use activity-based costing to determine the unit cost for each product. And then we have to comment on management's belief that ABC will generate an overhead allocation that is more accurate than the volume-based system currently in use. Okay? Sige. So the first thing we are going to do here is to compute for an activity rate for each cost pool. Okay? So we have the following: machine setup, materials handling, electric power. Okay? So we have the activity cost. So 360,000 for machine setup, 100,000 for materials handling, and 40,000 for the electric power. Now, we have to divide each by the activity driver consumption. So we have 4,000, 20, 4, and 40,000 respectively. Okay. So now, what we will do is to simply divide the activity cost by its corresponding activity driver. So for the machine setup, we'll divide 360,000 by 4,000, and the activity rate is 90 per setup hour. Okay, 90 per setup hour. Okay, and then for materials handling, we will do the same. So divide 100,000, the activity cost, by the activity driver, which is 20,000. 20,000 pounds of materials. So we'll have 5 per pound as our activity rate. Okay. And then lastly, for the electric power, so we divide 40,000 electric power cost by 40,000 kilowatt hour. So we have an activity rate of 1 per kilowatt hour. Okay? So we will use this activity rate in order to allocate the overhead cost to the products. Okay? So now, what we're going to do here is to compute for the overhead allocation for each product. Okay, so machine setup, product A, and then product B. So what is important here is for us to know how many setup hour pounds of materials and kilowatt hours do each product utilize or use. Okay, so for product A, of course we have 400 setup hours. Tapos for the pounds of materials, we have 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. And then for kilowatt hours, we have 2,000 kilowatt hours. And then for product B naman, okay, sige. Dito na lang yung product B para mas malinaw later on. Okay? So later na yung product B. So this is the overall consumption, diba? Or the consumption of product A for each activity or for each cost pool, diba, that we have for each activity. So, what we're going to do is we are going to multiply this by the activity rate that we have computed. So, values, okay? So, the overhead that will be allocated for product A as far as the machine setup is concerned is 36,000. For materials handling, for materials handling, we have 5,000. And for electric power, 2,000. For a total overhead cost of 43,000 pesos. Okay? So, we'll do the same for product B. Okay? So, for product B, syempre, we are going to get the activity driver consumption of product B. So, we have 200, 3,000, and 4,000. Then, we'll copy the activity rate again. Okay? And then, multiply natin siya. So, we get the overhead allocation for product B. So, 200 times 90 will get 18,000 for machine setup, 15,000 for materials handling, and 4,000 for electric power, for a total overhead cost of 37,000. Now, we are not yet done because we are asked to compute for the unit cost of each product. Okay? So, what we're going to do here is dito na lang. We have, syempre, the direct material cost. To compute for the per unit cost, we have to consider the three product costs: direct material, direct labor, and overhead. So, the direct material cost and the overhead cost is already given in the problem. For product A, we have 42,000. Product B, we have 24,000. And for the overhead, we have computed this at 43,000. So, the total cost, manufacturing cost, PMC, for product A is equal to 109,000. 109,000. Now, since we are tasked to compute for the per unit cost, we will divide this by the number of units produced, which is equal to 4,000 units. So, 109,000 divided by 4,000 units, diba? Our unit cost for product A is at 27.5, okay, under activity-based costing. Okay? We'll do the same for product B. So, for product B, we have direct material cost of 54,000. Direct labor cost of 40,000, and overhead cost amounting to 37,000. Oops, sorry. Overhead cost of 37,000. So, our total manufacturing cost for product B is at 131,000 divided by the total number of units produced, which is equal to 20,000 units. So, the unit cost, 131,000 divided by 20,000 will get 6.55 per unit. Okay? So, this is the unit cost for activity-based costing. So, we will compare this hand in hand with the unit cost under volume-based or yung traditional costing natin. Okay? Sige, so wait. ABC. And then, this one naman is the traditional. Okay? So, for our direct material, kasi what happened here is that we are given the overhead cost per unit na lang. So, what we can do here is we can simply compute for the total prime cost. O kaya, sige, para consistent tayo, no? So, basically, we compute for this, pero ang gagawin na natin, per unit na lang siya. Okay? We compute for this per unit na lang. So we have direct material, direct labor, and overhead. So for direct material, under traditional, syempre we have 42,000 units, sorry, 42,000, the total cost divided by the number of units, right? So we have 10.5, okay? So again, what I'm doing here is that since we are given the per unit overhead cost assigned to each product, diba? Kino-convert na lang din natin sa per unit yung direct material tsaka yung direct labor cost natin para mas madali. Okay? Tapos itong overhead mo, 10.8 na. Okay? Wait. And then, for our direct labor naman, we have 24,000 divided by 4,000 units manufactured will get 6 pesos. 6 pesos. So, yung unit cost natin, our unit cost is equal to 27.3. Okay, so we'll comment on this later on. So we'll compute for the unit cost of product B under the traditional costing as well. Sige. Ay, sorry. Hindi na pala. So same process, since again, we are given a per unit overhead cost, we will just convert the total material cost and direct labor cost into a per unit cost as well. So we have 54,000 divided by 20,000 units, we have 2.7. And then for direct labor, we have 40,000 divided by 20,000 units. So this is 2. And for overhead, it was given in the problem. It is 3.6. So to compute for the unit cost, we simply add, diba? So the unit cost is at 8.3. 8.3. Diba? So under ABC, under activity-based costing, the unit cost for product A as compared to the unit cost under traditional costing is, the difference is, I think, for me, negligible. So the difference is only 0.75. But as far as product B is concerned, diba? For product B, what happened, there is around, what is the difference? Let me compute. There is a difference of 1.75 per unit. And then for product A, the difference is only 0.05 rather, 0.05 per unit. So, will the ABC system generate an overhead allocation that is more accurate than the volume-based system currently in use? So, if you look at it on a per unit level, meaning you will just compare the unit cost under activity-based costing and traditional costing, you may say that the difference is negligible. However, it is important to note that we sell a lot more product A product B than product A. So, for example, what I'm trying to say is since we sell only 4,000 units of product A, diba? The difference is how much? The difference in the cost is only equal to 200 pesos. But since we are selling 20,000, since we are selling 20,000 units of product B, so when you multiply 1.75 by 20,000, there is a difference of 35,000 pesos as far as the unit cost is concerned. So we can say that this is negligible. However, if the number of units sold for product B continues to increase, and then we continue using this, the traditional costing unit cost in setting the selling price of our products, diba? Our selling price will be higher than higher than the selling price under activity-based costing. So uh, I think if the cost of determining the activity cost pools, activity cost, or the cost of shifting from traditional or volume based costing to activity based costing is reasonable, meaning hindi naman siya ganun kataas, the company may shift to activity-based costing because it will generate a more accurate cost information for the products.